How's it going? I'm Big Dan, and I'm so excited to be here on Spicy Plays today. You can find me on TikTok, Twitter, and occasionally on Instagram. I do a lot of Magic the Gathering, Dungeons & Dragons, Warhammer content, occasional thirst traps, in case that's not your thing. But today I am here and so excited to be talking about my Meren of Clan Nel Toth deck. She is an incredibly popular commander, and I love her so much. She is my favorite. She costs 2 and a black and a green for a 3/4. Now, her ability is whenever a creature I control dies, I get an experience counter. Real fun comes in with the other part of that, which is at the beginning of my end step, choose target creature card in a graveyard. If that creature's converted mana cost is less than or equal to the total number of experience counters I have, put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put it into my hand. This is my version of a high-powered graveyard shenanigan list. And so, speaking of shenanigans, let's go ahead and get in at it. A second to 2. Ooh, I wish I had small peppers. Ooh. 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 Gotta remember to be careful. It was just a gigantic pepper.
The wolf laying in its den is never as hungry as the wolf fighting to survive.
Look, I'm taking a turn.
What's your profanity?
This is my high-powered casual version of the Honorless CEDH Meren deck. Fast mana, tutors, combos, all stacks package. And it's usually pretty good at killing opponents like that pepper's killing me right now. As for mana dorks, they're pretty standard. Etherite Shaman, an absolute MVP in the deck. The greatest mana dork player of all time. Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Chrome Box, Mana Crypt. Standard. Print green, so our RAM package is pretty standard. 3 real standouts. Promenade Excavator, we run a lot of fetches so we can repeat them. Steve, we keep repeating him. Running out our library, ramping up. And Life from the Loam gives us Dredge, which is an incredible mechanic in the deck, and brings back more lands. Moving on to interaction, we're in Golgari, so we don't really have access to counter spells. We do have Veil of Summer. Criminally underrated black removal spell is Oubliette. You can target someone's commander and it stays phased out, which can be really game breaking. Only board wipe we run is Culling Ritual because it can also ramp us up. And pretty much standard removal, Abrupt Decay, Putrefy. Give me another drink. Yeah. Okay. Our stacks package, not going to be really anything too crazy because it is a casual deck. Of course, we do have the MVP, the Goat, the Spore Frog. With New Capenna, we've gotten a ton of treasure cards. That's where we get Collector Oof and Manglehorn because they cuck so many treasures. That's great. Mind Slicer, Grave Pact. Some people don't like those cards, but this is a really high-powered list. Onto our tutors. I'm going to run the Gambit. Vampiric, Demonic, Grim. Razkith Foul-Blooded is just a sack outlet and gets us exactly what we need. You get our reanimation spells. They're all pretty standard. Necromancy is the MVP because we can flash it out and use it to win with Protean Hulk. I'll explain here in a minute. On from there, two real value pieces that are just kind of in there for value are Eternal Witness, keep getting stuff out of the graveyard that we need non-creature wise. Rift Sweeper actually lets us bring in cards from exile, which this deck is very vulnerable to exile. So that is great. A couple more just value pieces. A criminally underrated card from Strixhaven in a build like this is the Demogoth Titan. It's a 4 mana 11/10. Whenever it attacks or blocks, sacrifice a creature, which is really great if you need to beat combat damage win like Richard Garfield intended. You can really do a good job on that really early on. Destiny Spinner, stop your creatures and enchantments from getting countered. And Hermit Druid, we don't run a ton of basics in the deck. Excuse me. So that helps thin our library. We've got a ton of card draw in this deck. A lot of it triggers off of creatures dying, because we want to be doing that aristocrat sacrifice thing. Things like Midnight Reaper, Skull Clamp, Greater Good, Molder Vine Reclamation. The real MVP here is the Underrealm Lich, because he replaces your draw ability. So if you are about to deck yourself while drawing cards, which very easily happens with this deck, Underrealm Lich actually stops you getting milled out. Now, if you've not played really high power and you just like kind of casual play, this is where the deck's really going to start to split apart. And that is that we run a whole gambit of fetches. We run 6 different fetches in this deck. That's because there are off-color fetches like Bloodstained Mire and Wooded Foothills. Because they say you can grab a swamp or a mountain or a forest, we can use these to grab our Bayou, to grab our Overgrown Tomb, or even to grab basics if you need to be at that point in the game. And they get repeated with Ramanop Excavator, which really does a great job of thinning out your library. So we go into kind of utility lands. We run the gambit on what is feasible with dual color sources. We don't run tap lands, so no temples or snow duels, but we do run Bayou, Overgrown Tomb, and stuff like that. The only 2 real utility lands we run are Dryad Arbor, because it turns ramp into a creature spell, and Bajuka Bog for those pesky graveyard decks, which we totally don't play. We've got our combo line, which is referred to as a Hulk line. The reason it's called that is it functions off of the card Protean Hulk, which is a 5 and 2 green mana 6/6. When it is put into a graveyard from play, you may search your library for up to 6 mana value creatures or less, total mana value or less. So, I'm going to take another drink, because this is spicy.
Stop! What are you doing?
So what we fetch off of that is Viscera Seer, Disciple of the Vault, Malira Sylvok Outcast, and Lesser Masticore. The way this combo works is, you sacrifice the Lesser Masticore to scry 1, which triggers the Disciple of the Vault to deal 1 damage to an opponent. Persist triggers, putting him back into play with a neg-1 counter, which triggers Malira, and neg-1 counter does not get put on. You're back at square 1, and you've dealt 1 damage, so you just repeat that an unlimited amount of time. So, thank you for having me on Spicy Plays. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you like in my deck that you haven't maybe seen in other people's lists, what you think should be added in. So, once again, I'm Big Dan. I'm honored to be here. You can find me on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. My link tree will be posted down in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a good one. Let's go for it. Oh, fuck.